Time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by Talking Rocks Cavern. Explore the beauty above and below ground at Talking Rocks Cavern. And the Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
And here we are on Wednesday. We're making it through the week, one day at a time. It's cool out there. Cool this morning, like 50s. So cold for some of you, I know, but that's where we're
Yourself included? Myself included?
Myself included. It's a little chilly out there, but what are you going to do? It happens this time of year. We'll begin with some news.
All right, here we go. A judge in Cole County heard arguments about ballot language on the issue of abortion. As we told you, the ACLU challenged ballot language on several constitutional amendments that would make abortion legal again in Missouri. Voters will make the decision on Missouri's 2024 ballot, so we shall see. The judge is expected to rule next week, and then an appeal is expected from the side that loses, regardless of which side that is. Yeah. As the price of everything continues to go up, Springfield residents can add electricity to the list. City Utilities wants to raise electric rates by 4.8% next year, another 4% in 2025, and almost 4% in 2026. The last rate increase by CU was in 2016. Since then, inflation has risen 26%. So that's why the city council is expected to vote on the rate increases come Monday.
26%. That's crazy. Man, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody's pay went up quite that much, probably.
Yeah, but I mean, you can understand certainly why they're asking for it. But
Springfield police are urging people to protect their guns. That after 11 guns were stolen in 1 week. 11 guns out of cars. Most of them unlocked cars. The police department is asking people to take their guns inside the house. Do not leave them out in the car because thieves are apparently targeting cars because they can find guns there. They've figured that out. Governor Parson has named Kelly Broniak as the newest judge on the Missouri Supreme Court. She will replace Judge George Draper, who is retiring as he hits the court's mandatory retirement age of 70. Another judge will retire for that very same reason next month.
All right. If you look at Missouri State job postings, you might see university president on the list now. MSU has officially listed the opening following the announcement that Cliff Smart is going to retire at the end of the current school year. A search committee is being formed this month with the goal of naming a new president in March. It's exciting. That's a big job. As we mentioned before, it's probably a 24/7 type of a job. All right. The Missouri Chamber of Commerce is supporting current Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe as he runs for governor. Kehoe actually was the chairman of Missouri's Chamber of Commerce about 20 years ago. Kehoe is running for the Republican nomination against current Secretary and State Senator Bill Eigel from St. Charles County, who we told you about yesterday.
Yeah. And lawmakers in Jefferson City are reconvening today to debate whether to override any of Governor Parson's vetoes from the 2023 regular session. There are 201 line item vetoes that they can consider overriding. Among other things, it takes a lot, but among other things, it'll take 2/3 of the legislative body to override one of the governor's vetoes. And a lot of those vetoes are budget line item vetoes. He vetoed $500 million worth of line items in the budget. So some of those lawmakers are going to no doubt try to get that money back. But you can getting 2/3 of the legislature to agree on anything is tough. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., lawmakers are considering the impeachment of President Biden. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy ordered the House committee to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Biden. House Republicans have been investigating for months accusations of corruption in the Biden administration, including that the president's family, specifically his son Hunter, used his father's position and influence to make money for the family. Those are the accusations. We'll see what happens with the inquiry.
Okay. Back here in the Ozarks, the newest area roundabout will be built at the entrance to Wilsons Creek National Battlefield. Construction on State Highway ZZ and Farm Road 182 will start next week and should be completed by November of next year. Also, the Friends of the Zoo Board has a new director. Allison Tuckness comes to the organization from the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks. She has 18 years of experience working in nonprofits. She's replacing Don Tillman, who is retiring from the Friends of the Zoo after 20 years as leader.
Okay. We told you about inflation hurting Americans. We now know the poverty rate in the United States rose by 4.6% just last year. That's the very first increase in the poverty rate since 2010. Man, I don't know what's in my throat. Sorry. And even worse than that, the child poverty rate jumped from 5.2%, more than doubled, to 12.1% in just 1 year. Is that unbelievable?
Yeah.
Child poverty went from 5.2% to 12.1 in 1 year.
That's an interesting, that must be what, like food insecurity in the home? How do they define child poverty?
It's
versus
shocking.
If they're with their parents or,
there's a whole recipe
teenagers
that they used for government assistance and all that sort of thing to figure out who's in poverty and how that number's changed. This is cool. Classic rock band Kansas is coming to Springfield again. They'll take the stage at the Gilloys March 8th of next year. They played the Ozark Empire Fair a few years ago, and now they're coming back. They love Springfield so much. So you can expect to hear Carry On, My Wayward Son. I know it's actually named Carry On, Wayward Son, but they say my in the line, so I always repeat the my. Dust in the Wind, Point of No Return. These are great songs. Play the Game Tonight, Fight Fire with Fire. Those are all on the Greatest Hits album, which I had as a kid. My brothers liked Kansas, so I became a fan.
I like Kansas. I like several of their songs.
Yeah.
You know me, I know some of the lyrics without ever knowing who sings the song. So, but
yeah, that is true.
That's just a personal problem that I've long had.
Kansas is a great classic rock band. Okay. Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. Did you hear about this? Patrick Mahomes. He sent out a tweet immediately that he regretted. He was sending well wishes after New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles tendon just about 4 plays into his debut with the Jets. It's a sad deal. Monday Night Football. He's out for the season. So Mahomes, being the nice guy that he is, tweeted, "Hate that man, praying for the best." But he failed to put a comma after that. So it read, "Hate that man, praying for the best." Which is pretty funny. Punctuation matters. He then quickly deleted that and resent the tweet with proper punctuation, followed by a tweet not long after that, because he heard it from people all over, because that's what Twitter is, right? Or X, I should say. The tweet that said, "Knew I was going to need that edit button on here one of these days," laughing emoji. So he fixed it. It's funny, but it's not funny for Aaron Rodgers because he's out for the season.
Yeah. I know that stinks. Okay, tomorrow is KY3's Big Health, Happiness, and Fun Fair. Its focus is on helping senior citizens be active in the community after retirement. It is tomorrow from 9 to 4 at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds, E-Plex, and it is free to attend. So that should be fun. Yeah, head out there.
I think that's new. I don't. Do you remember them doing that before?
No. I remember like the Safe and Sound.
Yeah, this is different.
Fair, but this is different. Yeah, that's exciting. Good for them. You know me, I love senior citizens. I've been known to hang out at the Senior Citizen Center, although it's been a minute since I've been there. But all right, this is cool. The Bolivar Police Department has a new canine on the force, and a 6th grader is the one who got to name him. Trenton Kellogg entered the name Officer Mattis in a naming contest, and his entry was chosen by the department.
All right, well, good for him.
I know.
Good for Trenton.
That's cool. I don't mean to brag, but just so you know, I have a robot named after me, a bomb squad robot for Springfield named after me.
That is true.
I know.
Where was I? I was with, where was I? I was somewhere where I was with some of the members. I was driving down to Hurricane Idalia. And one of the guys on Convoy's team now is a former firefighter who was on the bomb squad.
And
now
you
he's
that their bomb
working
robot's
at
named after me?
Convoy of Hope. And he said, I was in the cab, he's in the truck, and we're just driving along for hours upon hours. And at one point he goes, "Hey, did you know we named the bomb robot after your wife?" I said, "No. How on earth did that happen?" And he told me that you were there and you asked for the name, and they immediately on the spot named it Sarah. So
yeah, so they had just gotten a brand new bomb robot, which is like the robot that goes in to try to retrieve a bomb, see where a bomb, like it has like a camera on it, see what's going on around there, so that they don't have to go into the building, they can watch it. Anyway, they got that new on a day where I was called out to breaking news. It was like in the middle of the night, and whatever time it was, like super dark early in the morning. And I said, that robot looks like a human. What's its name? And they were like, I don't know. What is its name? And I'm like, well, Sarah, of course. And it stuck. Like all these years later, it stuck. So the bomb robot is still Sarah. How about that?
That's right. Sarah without an H.
Sarah without an H. There you go. All right. We do want to tell you about a new contest at Around the Ozarks. We have the chance to win Chiefs tickets again, the Kansas City Chiefs home tickets, and Kansas City Chiefs signed jerseys. So all you have to do is guess the score of the upcoming Chiefs game. And everyone who gets the total score of both teams correct or closest without going over, then your name goes into a pool to be drawn for the winner. So it's kind of like Price is Right, closest to without going over.
Closest to without going over, right?
Yeah. So let me give you an example because I feel like this is important. So you would not say like Chiefs 21, Detroit 20. That's not what you would say. You would say my guess is 41.
Total points.
Total score.
Both teams.
Total points, both teams. That's what you're guessing. You can find it at aroundtheozarks.com. And if you are the winner, then you can get Kansas City Chiefs tickets to a home game or Kansas City Chiefs signed jerseys.
Isn't that cool?
Or yes. So it's exciting.
Yeah, that's super cool. We're going to be doing this all season long. So get ready. You can put your football knowledge to the test and see if you can guess you got to figure out how offensive are the teams. How much defense is going to be played? Is it going to be a high-scoring game? I'm going to check the Las Vegas over-under to see where that is. Because they're usually pretty close, I'll be honest.
Right.
And go from there.
All right.
It's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great week.
Have a good rest of the week. Certainly a good Wednesday. And we'll see you back here tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Here's your host, Abby Dyer.
Hey, everybody. It is Wednesday, September 13th, and we've got a bit of patchy fog out there this morning. That's your morning headline, but otherwise, temperatures couldn't be a whole lot better today. Once again, I have beautiful weather forecast for you for the midweek forecast. A dry day. We're dealing with those patchy areas of dense fog early this morning, but that's going to burn off quickly. And it's nothing but sunshine that I have for you for the rest of the afternoon. So things are looking pretty good for us. And I'm expecting that we see a high temp of 77 with a light breeze, add the sunshine. Makes for a great day to get outdoors. I know the schools are really happy about that. Kids able to go outside for recess, get the energy out, and we just have a string of nice days that are going to carry us really through the rest of the work week forecast. We've got this fall-like feel in the forecast, though, and some patchy fog this morning could allow for a few areas to see visibility drop below a half mile. Of course, you would want to slow it down on the roadways, and it's those places that are more prone to seeing fog. If you live in a low-lying area next to a body of water, you're likely going to be one of the locations that sees some of this dense fog. It shouldn't last too long because as soon as the sun gets out and starts doing its job, our temperatures will take off this morning. But just know that there could be some visibility issues out there. So you might want to plan a few extra minutes as you head out the door this morning. I don't think we're going to be dealing with it past mid-morning, though. We'll see that sunshine take over in a hurry, and then it's just really nice weather. Another beautiful day on deck for us for this Wednesday. It just can't be beat. I mean, this is the September weather that we wait on and that we deserve after all that heat and humidity that we had at the end of August. Dry and mostly sunny, not just today, but through the rest of the work week forecast and also through the weekend forecast. Beautiful weekend shaping up across the Ozarks. I gotta at least mention, though, this chance for a few showers that could arrive early on Saturday morning. Overall, I think you should keep your outdoor plans this weekend, but know that there could be this little disturbance in the area on Saturday specifically that could bring some cloud cover. I think we might get some isolated showers out of it, but this is by no means a washout of a day. In fact, the extended forecast is looking quite nice here. 77 for the high temperature both today and tomorrow. A little bit warmer on Friday, closer to 78. By Saturday, we have that small chance for some isolated showers. And I really think the best chance for some showers on Saturday happens early. We're talking before the lunch hour. So if you are planning your weekend, maybe avoid Saturday morning, but even still, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a lot of rain. It definitely won't be everywhere. In fact, it's only about a 15 to 20% chance for some showers. Then Saturday ends up being beautiful with mid 70s, 76 for the high temperature and 50s for low. So really, really comfortable in the forecast. Sunday looks beautiful as well. Once again, I think we'll be in the upper 70s. We just can't break this nice pattern, and I guess we don't really want to. Around the country, some of the headlines that you're going to hear about today include what was the strong Hurricane Lee out in the Atlantic, of course, and that is creating dangerous surf conditions now and rip currents that are developing along the east coast of the United States. So I know they're going to put out all of these warnings and advisories along the coastal areas to the east, even though we're not expecting a direct hit for the East Coast. We are talking about the potential for some really killer waves and ripped currents out there. Then we're also talking about that storm making landfall potentially by next weekend as a weak storm system. We're talking like, think nor'easter, probably for New England. So folks up to the Northeast still need to be watching that storm out in the Atlantic. Other headlines around the country, I found this interesting yesterday, and if you're curious, you should Google the video because it's pretty interesting. Boaters in Wisconsin, they actually all got together. This was on, I think, Lake Chippewa. There's a lot of bogs there that float up to the surface, and a lot of the times they create these islands that sit on the top of the surface of the lake. This one's so large that it actually has grown trees, and those trees act like sails, like a sailboat. So when we get windy conditions up there, you can actually see these islands floating around. And there's a vital bridge that people use still, motorists use, and it's a main destination there. So boaters oftentimes send out a call. They say, okay, we're going to push this island across the lake. And that actually happened yesterday. The video is pretty incredible. I mean, these are just community members that get their boats, they get them all together, and they push this island out of the way of this bridge. I found that really interesting. Everybody working together in Wisconsin to keep the bridge open. Don't want an island to crash into it, but it's light. You know, they're able to push it. There's probably 20 boats, though, that got together and moved that right out of the way. Also in the headlines, Hawaii's Kilauea volcano erupted for the third time this year, and geologists are really interested in getting out there, doing some research on the magma. So they're collecting it, and they're going to learn more about that process of what's actually happening in that active volcano. So kind of interesting there. Speaking of Hawaii, that's going to be the next brain twister question. This is the one that I left you with yesterday. What is the coldest temperature ever recorded in Hawaii? Yesterday, I gave you the options 12, 16, 29, 36, and the answer is A, 12 degrees. That's really cold. for Hawaii. You don't often think about them dealing with these below freezing temperatures. Fun fact, it is the only state that has not seen sub-zero temperatures, but 12 is pretty darn cold. I think you get below 20 and you can count yourself cold. 12 degrees, though. It was set back in 1979, and this was recorded at the observatory on Mauna Kea. Elevation there, 13,796 feet. So you would expect that it gets really cold up there. I've actually been to that observatory, and I was there in the summer. They were not talking about record cold at all, not by any means. And it was shocking how cold it was. I was freezing up there, and we were up there in the evening when it got dark, and it was cold and windy and pretty brutal. But 12 degrees Fahrenheit, the coldest temperature ever recorded in Hawaii. Now you know. All right, here is the brain twister question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. Maybe get you hungry for breakfast. According to 2022 sales, what's the most popular cereal that is sold in the United States? Do you think it is A, Cheerios, B, Frosted Flakes, C, Rice Krispies, or D, Honey Nut Cheerios? Let me know what you think. You can do that over on the Around the Ozarks Facebook page. Thank you so much for listening this morning. Take it slow on that morning drive. If you have any fog out there, certainly be careful and use caution. Otherwise, enjoy the absolutely beautiful day. I will chat with you again in the morning. And if you need weather information today, make sure you log on to aroundtheozarks.com. We've got you covered there with up-to-the-minute forecast information. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather wherever you get your podcasts.